once you turn 50, you must prepare for your ending.
You should prepare for your death as well and know that one day you're going to die. And this is how some will even go as far as giving details of how they want to be buried.
Despite its inevitability, people still avoid the issue of death as diligently as possible. As such, many are caught totally unprepared when death comes calling. In many cases, the state of unpreparedness has led to squabbles and caused a lot of anguish to the living left behind, as their beloved had died interstate. But it has been generally acknowledged that no mortal, whether young or old, illiterate or educated, can escape the cold hands of death when the time finally comes. Interestingly, however, a few individuals seem to have come to terms with the reality and gone ahead to construct their own tombs even before death comes calling. People talk to the street to get reactions on preparing one's grave while alive.
I don't see anything wrong with that, and I can do that as well. And it's just for us to be ready to know that one day we're going to be laid down somewhere. So it's the same way you prepare for schooling, the same way you prepare for marriage, you prepare for parenting, you should prepare for your death as well, and know that one day you're going to die. And this is how some will even go as far as giving details of how they want to be buried, the details of how the proceedings, everything about their burial. Some will tell you this is exactly what I want, how it should be done, with days, timing, and everything. So I don't think there's anything wrong with that. It's a personal opinion, and I don't mind as well to prepare and say, wow, one day I'm going to be laid down here. This is how it. I think it's beautiful. It's personal, actually. Like, it's actually personal, and I think it's a good one. And I look forward to that as well.
My own personal belief is once you turn 50, you must prepare for your ending. If you turn 50, let's just say is grace that you got to 50. At 50, each person should know what you want, what kind of. I have a burial plan. I want to be buried, whether I want noise, whether I want things. And then you put your affairs in order. You must have a written something. When I die, this is what I want, this is what I. So that he got ready to, he prepared his place of rest. It's just a normal thing. It is a cultural and traditional belief that you don't talk about death. Death is such a big deal. You don't speak ill of the dead. You don't. When you talk about death, you're going to die. All that is just. I can be, as I'm standing here, and I can fall down dead. But my younger brother will know exactly what I want. You know. So is the way he wants it. He must. Is more than 50 because is 50 is a good year. Once you turn 50. Then you must make preparation. Otherwise, the people you are leaving will be in trouble.
For me, I wouldn't do that. Yes, I know when my granddad was alive, he did such. You know, he prepared a place where he would be buried, where my grandma would be buried, and when she died, we actually buried her close to him because after building his house, there's a particular part where he left for his where he would be buried. For me, I don't think that is necessary. You know, my father-in-law died, and he said wherever he dies, he should be buried there. But we ended up not burying him where he died. We had to take him to the village. He died in Lagos. He should be buried in Lagos. We took him to the village. But for me, I don't think that's necessary. It's not something one should be after. There are more things to ponder about. There are more things to focus your energy on. Not thinking of where. You know, For me, I don't think it's necessary.
I think it's sort of culture in Nigeria. We sort of run away from thinking about death and planning about it because we all want to go to heaven, but we don't want to die first before we go to heaven. So it's a cultural thing. We don't want to think about it. But the more we learn, the more we get educated, the more we see the complexities about families and what could happen after life, we begin to have a rethink. Especially if you're a man of means or a woman of means, you begin to think of what's going to happen to your estates when you leave or when you pass on. So yes, people are beginning to make plans. Um, Even if all you had was the furniture in your house, you still want to be able to give this furniture out to who you want. I've seen instances or heard instances of houses let for siblings of the same mother who fought and fought and fought and fought, and they never resolved how to move on after the passing of their parents and regarding the few property left behind. So I think it's something every right thinking, educated, forward thinking person should start to do. Writing your will and then saying, you know what, this is where I want to be buried. This is what I want to be written on my epitaph. I found myself thinking about it one day, like I'd like to die empty. And if I died, if I passed on, I wanted it to be written on my tombstone that here is a woman who died empty. There is nothing wrong with that. You just see that life progressively will come to a point when we all expire. So one day we will expire. Nobody is here to not live again. We're all owing this debt of death.